How do I, 31F, get over my partner, 30M, calling me too fat?
I've been with my partner for 6 years.
Admittedly, when we met, I was a bit thinner than I am now. However, when I've previously voiced unhappiness with my weight, my partner has always been supportive and called me beautiful, said he doesn't mind what weight I am.
I have tried dieting in the past with mixed successes, and admit I'm overweight and want to change this.
I have tried dieting this past year, but it has been difficult whilst working 50-plus-hour weeks with dementia inpatients, studying full-time to do my nursing degree, and trying to be a good mother. Diets always seem to fall by the wayside after a few weeks.
Until yesterday.
We had a bit of an unrelated disagreement, nothing awful, just a few crosswords, and my partner said he wanted to sit and talk about our future. We had a conversation about some other areas of our relationship that needed attention, and then he closed out with, "I'd be happier with you if you were slimmer."
And I just cannot get that out of my head. I couldn't get changed in our bedroom last night because I imagined him looking at me in disgust at my size. I can't stop thinking that all he sees when he looks at me is a big lump of fat.
I feel disgusted in myself. I feel unattractive and upset and unworthy.
I can barely bring myself to speak to him. I'm just stunned.
Not a week ago he was saying he loved me more than anything, no matter how I looked.
Now I'm too fat. I don't know how to move forwards. I've obviously started a diet immediately. I've done myself a meal plan this morning and am heading to the supermarket soon to buy what I need. I can't afford to sign up to a gym, but I am looking at YouTube workouts to start helping.
Mentally though?
I feel like I'm 14 again, being bullied at school for not being tiny. Too long did not read. Partner said he'd be happier with me if I was slimmer. I don't know how to process this and move forwards.
From one stressed out woman to another. My doctor told me how hard it is for many women to not gain weight and even harder to lose any when we are sleep deprived and stressed out.
She said to prioritize sleep and manage stress before adding the stress of dieting.
She advised to slowly make little changes like more water instead soft drinks, add more veggies, and focusing on nurturing the body as stress depletes us of minerals and vitamins.
Obviously, for obese people there is a different urgency.
But that doesn't apply to you.
You can do it.
Wishing you well.
Edit. Your partner sounds immature and cruel.
Don't do it or anything for him. The best way to get over him calling you fat is to leave his ass. You're a hard-working person, and the fact that he's telling you to change how you look so he could be happier in this relationship is a bit selfish. Like, excuse me sir, who are you to say Todd? You have a wife that works 50-plus hours a week, and you're trying to complete your nursing degree while trying to be a good mother.
So it's understandable. I'd say take some space for yourself, and then express how that comment made you feel.
If you're working out and dieting, do it to be healthy and happy for you yourself, not for some guy's happiness.
Regardless of what anyone else thinks, you need to reassess.
You need to be happy with you for you.
I'm going to be harsh here, but having someone constantly complaining about being overweight without actively addressing it is really draining. So look inward. Please stop thinking of your new eating plan as a diet.
That's where people fail. You cannot keep making excuses that you're too busy to lose weight because it does not require more time.
It's just about eating less.
Weight loss happens in the kitchen, not the gym anyway, so that's also not an excuse. I get that you're tired and have a lot of commitments, but don't let it be another reason to be unhappy.
You need to eat the right amount of food forever. You need to look at this as a permanent lifestyle change.
The best way to get rid of a big chunk of useless weight is by cutting a person out of your life who doesn't treat you as well as you deserve.
200 pounds gone in a heartbeat.
How much weight are we talking?
20-30 pounds could be excused because life, babies, pandemics, stress, injuries, but obesity is not a natural part of aging or general life, wear and tear, unless you have a condition caused by hormonal imbalances like PCOS. I get a bit confused when people defend really excessive weight gain with the argument that we all age and nobody will continue to look like they did when they were younger for the duration of a decade-spanning relationship. Obesity is not natural and certainly not an inevitability that we all have to accept, like getting wrinkles and becoming less mobile. I, 23F, want to break up with my boyfriend, 24M, but don't know if this is a reasonable reason? A 7-year-old relationship, yes.
We met when we were 17-18 and I feel we do love each other so much, however I constantly feel that, This is not the life I want to live. We are 24 now and we don't live together, we are not engaged, absolutely nothing different from when we were teenagers. He still lives with his parents, seems to have some prospects and plans for the future but doesn't go for any of it, and talking about it doesn't make any better because he just gets anxious and says he will do something and nothing happens. He knows I have this dream to move together, to marry, to have kids, and he says he does too, but absolutely nothing happens. We are stuck.
I feel his plans always go first and I'm the one who always had to wait for the right time. I'm so ready to step up our relationship and it makes me significant other frustrated.
This is not the life I want to live is a perfectly valid reason to break up with someone. You don't need to try and find a good enough reason to break up with someone.
If you feel like your goals don't align, that is a perfectly good reason. Put yourself first.
You don't need a reasonable reason if you're unhappy and know nothing is going to change ever or anytime soon.
You deserve to live the life you want and be happy. You actually don't need any reason other than you want to. There's nothing worse than being stuck with an "I'm going to" person.
They never ever actually do. You don't need a valid reason.
It's not a job. You outgrew him, move on. If you don't want to be in a relationship, that is all the reason you need to exit that relationship.
You can tell him you want to take time to focus on your long-term goals, or you can just say the relationship has run its course and you need to move on to grow. Heck, say whatever you feel comfortable with, but don't think that you need some big dramatic incident to break up with someone. My husband M40 keeps, accidentally, lying about money to me F30. What should I do? My husband, M40, and myself, 30F, have been married for a few years. This year I learned that he was having what I've seen dubbed as a financial affair on me. Multiple credit cards and loans were taken out behind my back. Spending out of control on digital products plus eating out on CC I didn't even know of so I wouldn't see them. It's almost ruined us. To make it worse, me and the kids had to live on nothing because we were paying off debt. He had some debt before marriage that I thought we had been paying off. I'm talking about me and the kids eating pancakes, and he was eating out when he wanted in secret and then getting mad if I spent more than $500 a month, including groceries, on me and the two kids. Took it to our church and the pastor had been great and we are seeing a marriage counselor. They are taking it very seriously. Here's the thing. He got paid a big chunk of money. We used it to pay off his debt, but we did so keeping in mind that we had another sum of money coming in from the same job, about $17K. We were going to put towards a house with our other savings. Our rent is getting too high where we live and the houses for sale in our area would lower our payments by a few hundred. Because we tackled his debt, I have no debt, I paid it off years ago, his credit is good. That said, last night I was sending paperwork to our lender and he told me with no apology, "Oh, I forgot, I'm not getting 17K, I'm getting 9K. I was gutted. Upset. I asked him if was he sure. He then started telling me that he never said that we had that money to put down for a house. Which isn't true, he told me that we did several times. And that, it's not a lie, because he didn't mean to lie. Here's the thing though, I've been blatantly lied to for almost my whole marriage now about money, and now we won't be able to get the house I want. I told him that I believed that it either was a lie or a gross exaggeration, and that even if an accident, it was still not true, and we would not have paid off certain debts of his had I known we weren't making the other sum since we need a house. Is it wrong for me to say he's lying, or at the very least it was a lie? Is there anything I can do to get him to stop? I'd be wondering if he is actually getting 17K but he just has other plans for the other 8K, or maybe he's already spent it. I honestly don't know if you can come back from this. He clearly has a spending addiction and desperately needs individual therapy on top of your couples therapy. I don't know that I would ever really be able to trust my partner again if I were in your shoes. That would be a deal breaker for me honestly, and I think I'd be out of there. This is financial abuse. This isn't something you counsel your way out of, in my opinion. You certainly can't church your way out. You are only 30. You have so much life ahead of you. You can get back on financial track in no time without him dragging you down. Only took me about a year to sort things once I left my husband at 39. And that was after a foreclosure, car repossession, blowing our savings behind my back, credit cards, me not having a job as a trailing spouse, couldn't work in the country we were posted to. The only thing I regret about my divorce was not doing it a hell of a lot sooner. What is he doing to work on himself and fix these financial infidelities?
Are you guys in therapy or anything? If he's not trying to fix things, I would hesitate to remain in a relationship with a partner you can't trust.
He's giving you a lot of reasons to not trust him, and $8,000 is enough that he should be going past, not lying on purpose, to making sure you're accurately informed.
Future communications about money need to be in writing and archived somewhere where he can see what he said.
That might mean a shared Discord channel or a notebook hanging on the fridge. This also applies if you're ending the relationship, which I think you should at least consider.
You might have had $17K, he might just have spent half of it elsewhere.
Did you had a prenup about his debt?
Is the counselor by the church for you both a safe space?
Do you have the same financial goals?
Is there more going on besides money? What are his goals in life and what yours?
Let him first talk before you do.
Otherwise they say I want the same thing as you want. Edit. Does he earn all the income or do you work too?
How do I 21M break up with my girlfriend 22F without hurting her too much? Me, 21M, and my girlfriend, 22F, have been dating for about 10 months and I really care about her a lot, but I feel like I personally don't have the energy for a relationship ATM as I'm going through a tough time mentally. I'm very conscious as to how I approach this, as I know she's had a lot of trauma with her ex being outed as a predator, and I gave her support in helping her get over it. She keeps telling me she needs me and she can't live without me, and I'm just worried about what will happen if I do leave. So how do I go about it?
Too long did not read. My girlfriend is overly reliant on me due to trauma caused by her ex.
How do I break up with her?
Sit her down and explain yourself. You'd be the biggest asshole if you don't want the relationship with her but will stay in it just to not hurt her.
That would be unfair for both of you. Breakups suck, but this is life. You cry about it and eventually you move on. Be honest. Be direct.
And don't leave room for doubt or hoping things will change in the future.
Tell her the truth. You care about her, but you are going through a tough time mentally and you need time apart. Someone that says they can't live without is codependent and not a healthy person. As long as you are being respectful and kind in the delivery, it's not your responsibility to manage her emotions.
She needs to learn how to be an autonomous person and be okay on her own. You need to focus on yourself so you can get better.
With respect. How she handles it is her problem.
Nothing wrong with breaking up if it's not working. How she takes it is her job. You break up and move on.
After that, she is no longer your concern.
You trying to help will only make the hurt worse, as she will think there is a chance at reconciliation,